Welcome to Charting a New Course for Cleveland, a City Club New Leaders program. The City of Cleveland's charter, first adopted in 1913, forms the foundation and the framework by which the mayor of the city and Cleveland City Council govern the city. One provision of that charter mandates that every 20 years, City Council creates a charter review commission to review the city's charter. This provides an opportunity for the council, the commission, and the community to plan for the next 20 years and take a look at what's working and do just a process for self-reflection for the city of Cleveland. At that point, Cleveland City Council then takes the recommendations made by the Charter Review Commission and determines which to place on the ballot. This culminates the end of a 6-month process by which the Charter Review Commission, a panel of 15 members, listens to members of the community, reviews specific provisions in the charter, and determines which of those provisions they consider to be obsolete or looks at new opportunities for the charter to improve the city of Cleveland. The 2008 Charter Review Commission recommended 116 changes to the city of Cleveland's charter. Cleveland City Council then took those 116 recommendations and placed 6 of them on this November's ballot. Today we're going to hear from 3 members of the 2008 Charter Review Commission. Councilwoman Phyllis Cleveland represents Cleveland's Ward 5. She has spent her first term in office expanding on the community and economic development initiatives of her predecessor, the current Cleveland Mayor, Frank Jackson. Councilwoman Cleveland is a former prosecutor, and she was the chair of the 2008 Charter Review Commission. She's a resident of Cleveland's Central neighborhood and is a graduate of Case Western Reserve's law school and is also an undergraduate, has a bachelor's degree from Case Western Reserve. Matt Silversten is an attorney at the Jones Day Law Firm. He focuses his practice on complex commercial litigation, but he's also done pro bono work before the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals and has also helped out on cases that went before the United States Supreme Court. Matt is a resident of Cleveland's Ohio City neighborhood and is a graduate of Wake Forest and the Ohio State University Law School. Bill Callahan has the distinction of being the only member of the 2008 Charter Review that was also a member of the previous Charter Review in 1988. Bill's a longtime neighborhood activist. He has been a community organizer. He has been an executive director of a community development corporation, and is also the author of a popular Cleveland blog, Callahan's Cleveland Diary. Bill resides in Cleveland's Old Brooklyn neighborhood. Today's program will be moderated by Eric Wellman. Eric is the host of Morning Edition on 90.3 WCPN and is a graduate of the Newhouse School of Communications at Syracuse University. Eric?
Thank you. I'm not used to seeing my audience, so this is a little bit new for me. Welcome. I'm really glad you all could be here. I'm really glad these panelists could be here for this important discussion. I just wanted to start off by giving you a brief idea of sort of how things are going to proceed. We're going to start off where each of them is going to talk about a different part of the charter review process for about 3 to 5 minutes each. I've got a few questions of my own, but then I really look forward to hearing the questions that you have. So begin listening to what they have to say and thinking about whether you'll have any questions, and we'll be going to the questions in about half an hour. So we are going to start things off with Matt Silversten, who's going to talk about and really give us an overview of the process.
Thank you, Eric. And thank you, Eric Wobser, and thanks to City Club. It's a pleasure to be here. Eric Wobser took a little bit of my thunder and kind of gave you a little bit of an overview of the process. But as Eric said, the charter is basically what I call the Constitution of the city of Cleveland. It lays out the framework and the fundamentals of how our city's government is run. Our charter was first passed by the electors of the city of Cleveland in 1913. And in 1967, they added an amendment that put in section 200-1, which basically created this charter review process. And the charter review process is a process by which City Council picks 15 electors, which basically means you live in the city of Cleveland and you're eligible you're registered to vote. So I fit those qualifications. 15 of us get together and we have 6 months to review the charter, take input from various entities and individuals, that have interests in seeing improvements made to the charter. And then at the end of 6 months, we put a proposal forward or a report forward to the City Council. With the 2008 Charter Review Commission, as I said, there was 15 of us. We started meeting back in January of this year. We met every Thursday. We had open meetings at City Hall every week, met for a few hours, and just had a parade of people coming in. We had the mayor's chief of staff and members of the cabinet, members of the mayor's staff, Council President Sweeney, and other members of City Council. We had the Civil Service Employees Association, various unions. We had the Greater Cleveland Partnership. All these people coming in and giving us their thoughts, some of them giving opposing thoughts. In other words, the administration might put forward one proposal, and the Civil Service Employees Association might come in and give a countering view to that proposal. Overall, we considered about 160 different proposals. By majority vote, we approved or gave our sign off on about 115 proposals. That all went into a report that we turned over to City Council on the report. The report is about as big as the charter itself. But that all went to City Council on August 1st of this year. One thing I would say as a follow-up, if anything we say today piques your interest, the City Council staff did a fantastic job of putting together a website. And if you go to www.clevelandcitycouncil.org, there is a link to a charter review webpage where you can see all the handouts that we received over the course of the year and our meeting notes and what have you. And I would definitely encourage people to visit that website if you're interested in learning more.
Thanks, Mr. Silversten. We're going to turn now to Councilwoman Cleveland, who is going to give us an idea of what actually happened once Council got a hold of the document.
Thank you, and good afternoon. It's a real pleasure and honor to be on a panel at the City Club. For me, this process, and I may deviate a little bit from the script, but I do have to say, I lived with this process probably for about a year before we actually started. I knew that the council president wanted me to serve on the Charter Review Commission, and so I began thinking about, well, how is this going to happen? What are we going to do? What is it going to look like? And there's really of course, there's no manual. There's no guidebook for doing a Charter Review Commission. And please bear with me. I'm getting over a bad case of laryngitis just yesterday. But I had to, I started thinking about, how are we going to put this together? I know there were people waiting with many ideas for us to review once the commission was put together. And I did a lot of research on my own just into what other cities were doing. Seattle, Washington, for example, had a great website, and that was one of the first things that I said to our staff and our commission members, we need to have a website to keep track of all the information that we're going to receive and what we do, and just to let the public know what this process is about. And my hope, and I think we achieved that to a great degree, that we had a pretty open and transparent process as we could. But once again, and I'm wearing two hats in this process, or maybe more. One is as a commission member, one is the chairperson of the commission. So I took that very seriously as a responsibility for making sure that we do what we need to do it in the time frame that we were given, and that we have a good process and that we come out with a good product. And I think for the most part we did that. And again, I was very concerned. I don't want to be the one person in 20 years and they look back in 2008 and say,